Hello from Magicland again. This is our butternut winter squash field. In this video I'd like to show you all the different types of winter squash we're growing this year and some of my thoughts on them. I will be going to each of our fields and picking one of each, and then later on I'll cut them open to show you how they are inside. So for now, I'll just pick a butternut. Next one will be the acorn. We're in the acorn field now. Grab one to show you guys. And here's the heart of gold. Another variety we're growing. Nice one. And right beside it is some celebration. Now off to the sunshine, spaghetti squash, and buttercup field. And here's a section of the spaghetti squash field. You can see. Take one of these to show you. And we did grow right by it a very bright orange Kobache on sunshine. One of these. And Buttercup. We're growing right beside, but we harvested a little bit over here. There's a little guy. We do have a few left out here. Close to it, as you can see, we have the more sunshine close to it. And close to that, we have some on the other side of the more spaghetti squash, are more of our space station. It's a green Kobache type. Looks very similar to the Buttercup. Get a little bit riper one there. There's a nice Kobache. Variety is Space Station. As you can see, it looks just like the Buttercup, except for the Buttercup has a cup at the bottom. Alright, off to the Sweet Lightning, Sweet Potato Squash, or Delicata, and Sweet Dumpling. I know they may look like small decorative pumpkins, but this is a sweet dumpling type called Sweet Lightning. Very pretty and very tasty. And right beside them, we were growing some of the Delicata Squash, also known as sweet potato squash. And then just to show you, I'm not going to pick any yet, since it's just a trial for us. I don't even know if we're going to sell any this year. Are known as Ugly Dumpling. It's a brand new squash. It's been heralded as one of the best tasting winter squashes there is, but we don't know, so we're not trying it. We're not going to sell it until we try it. I'm not terribly impressed with its growth habits, but you know, it's a trial. We'll see. If it tastes really, 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 really good, I might grow it again. Alright, now I will show you what's inside each one. Alright, I'd like to show you what's inside each one. Now, this was the Delicata / sweet potato squash. It's my opinion on it is that it's usually a squash for people who don't really like squash. There's some people that just love this compared to all other squashes. I think it's mainly due to its mild flavor and extremely fine texture. Skin is also extremely thin. It has a large seed cavity. This is where you would scoop all this out and then roast it. The Sweet Lightning is a dumpling type of squash. It's relatively tough to open up. It's a bit hard, but a good meat cleaver could rip it open. Has a relatively small seed cavity which you scoop up, and like all other winter squashes, I would roast it in the oven. It is extremely sweet and extremely fine textured. It is getting very close to what I consider a dessert squash, where it's so sweet that you don't have to put sugar on it. And the Space Station is a green Kobache type. It is a hard-skinned, hard-shelled, fairly large seed cavity, not real large. Dry flesh, when cooked, very sweet. This one's getting very close to what a sweet potato would taste like. It's one of my dessert squashes, also. What I consider a dessert. The Buttercup, you can really tell by the cup on the bottom. Not all Buttercups, when you grow them, will get the cup on the bottom. So it does make it confusing sometimes. This variety always has a cup on the bottom. It's one of my favorite squashes. It is a drier squash like the Kobaches, but to me the texture is very, very good. It is extremely sweet, and it's, to me, an actual dessert when you eat this. And you have to roast it like all other winter squashes. The orange Kobache, Sunshine, is this variety, is very similar to the other green Kobache. I would say slightly drier and maybe slightly more sweeter. Very, very good. And to me, you could use it as a sweet potato replacement. Spaghetti squash, one of the most, well, least flavorful of squashes, and it's mainly used for its texture purposes, because inside, once it's cooked and so forth, the flesh is very stringy. So stringy, in fact, that you could almost pull it out as if it was spaghetti. A very stringy squash. Its mild flavor makes it possible so you can add other sauces to it, just like you would do spaghetti, and treat it just as such. Not my favorite squash, just because I prefer flavorful squashes and such. The Heart of Gold is an Acorn and sweet dumpling cross. It inherited most of its flavor and sweetness from the sweet dumpling. Its size, though, came from the Acorn. This is a very tasty squash. Sweet and smooth. If you like acorn, you'll like this a lot, and also sweet dumpling. If you're familiar with it, this would be a great replacement squash for it. It's a very high quality acorn. It's quite a bit sweeter. The celebration is basically a very colorful acorn that I consider having, you know, it's a very colorful, high quality acorn. On average, I would say the celebration has higher quality than the normal acorn. Excellent texture and just the right amount of sweetness. The acorn that is very popular here at Magicland is like a dinner squash. It's like a potato almost. A lot of people have it with a lot of other stuff. They stuff it. It's a mild flavored, mild sweetness, great texture, general purpose squash. If you want to stuff a squash, this is the one to stuff, and so forth. The butternut, also a popular one down here, is favored because of its type of seed cavity. A lot of people would actually cut it here and throw this away. This is where the seeds are. Throw that away and just utilize the neck portion, which is a solid squash. Like so. Sweeter than the acorn, but not as sweet as the buttercup. As fine textured as the buttercup, but not as dry. A lot of people like to use this in soups and just mashing it up. And fun note on this, most of the canned pumpkin that you get in the store is butternut. So you can roast this like you would any other winter squash. Scoop it out and just use it as puree pumpkin, just as you would get in a can. You don't have to do any other processing after that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and may perhaps learn something. And please subscribe. Bye.